Hi, I'm Tom. In this lesson I'm going to show you a few exercises to improve your alternate picking. This lesson is aimed at beginners, so when you feel you've got this down, feel free to move on to the intermediate and advanced videos. Alternate picking, like the name suggests, is where we alternate between downstrokes and upstrokes each time we pick. If you're a beginner, you're probably used to playing downstrokes on every note. If you adapt this style of playing into your practice schedule, I can assure you it's going to improve your technique in the long run. The first exercise is going to be based on the blues scale on the A string. Here it is up to speed. So, taking this really slowly, we're going to be fretting notes in the third position, but we're actually going to start with an open string, which we're going to pluck twice with a down, then an up pick. Then we're going to play third fret with our first finger on a downstroke, then fifth fret with our ring finger on an upstroke, then we're going to play the sixth fret with our little finger with a downstroke and then an upstroke. Then a downstroke on the fifth fret, moving back to our ring finger, and then an upstroke on the third fret with our first finger. And then we start the whole thing again. Be strict with this hand instead of going, because you'll find you can actually play quicker if you just sit in position comfortably. Here's the whole thing up to speed again. Make sure that when you're practicing this exercise you can hear each note cleanly and clearly. Let's move on to exercise 2. So, unlike the last one, we're not staying on one string, we're changing string each time, so it can be a bit tricky. I'm just going to go through the notes, but take your time on it at home. The changing string part especially is the hardest bit, not necessarily the fingering. So we're going to start on the low E string with a downstroke, then an upstroke, then a downstroke on the third fret, and then this is where we change string with an upstroke on the A string. Then we're going to play a downstroke on the second fret on the A, then an upstroke on the D, open D, and then downstroke on the second fret, and then upstroke on the open D. And then to start again, we come all the way back down to the open E. So that's down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and then start again. So we're just going to play that slowly. Here it is up to speed. Here's one more exercise for you to practice. It's located higher up the neck, so some acoustic guitar players may struggle with this. I chose this exercise because it highlights that you don't always have to start with a downstroke on your long passages. For this lick, I like to start with an upstroke. Practice both and see what feels natural. It's good to have a lot of tricks up your sleeve. This one could be a bit tricky for new players, so we'll take it slow. I'm breaking my own rules for this one because I'm not actually staying in position. I should be using my little finger, but I'm actually using my ring finger. Because we're higher up the neck, the frets are actually much closer together, so it's not like I'm using a unnecessary stretch. It still feels pretty comfortable to do that. Now, I don't start with a downstroke on this kind of exercise, I start with an upstroke, and I can't actually do this lick with a downstroke up to speed because I've practiced it with an upstroke so long. I'm going to advise you to practice both and not get into bad habits like I've done. So, when I talk through this exercise, if you're doing the downstroke version, just reverse every pick stroke I say. So for up is down, down is up. We're going to start on the 15th fret and play with our ring finger as an upstroke. and then to the 12th fret on the same string, the high E, with a downstroke, and then the exact same pattern on the B string. So upstroke on the 15, downstroke on the 12. And then of course if you're reversing it, it'd be down, up, rather than up, down, up, down. So you get this repeated circular pattern going. And it's just a case of practicing that and practicing that with a metronome. Practice it slowly at first, literally at this speed, because we don't want any clashing. We want all both our fingers and our picking hand to be in sync. Here it is up to speed. Thanks for watching. I hope some of you have found this useful. When you feel comfortable with these exercises, feel free to move on to the intermediate level video. See you soon.